Hello, welcome to Physics 222 Section W01 for summer 2021. The W denotes that this is a web-based or online course. We do not have a regularly scheduled class time or lab time. Everything will be provided here online. My name is Gary Heaton. I am the instructor for the course. I am a full-time instructor here at Trident Tech. I teach physics and astronomy and been doing so for years. The best way to get a hold of me is by email. I can be reached at the D2L email, or I can be reached at gary.heaton@tridenttech.edu. The D2L email forwards over. The tridenttech.edu email is one that I can check a lot easier, so I tend to check it more often. I am in my office some, so my office phone is 843-574-6472. In fact, I do have office hours in person. We can talk about that more if you actually want to come by office hours on campus, but I will get to those in just a moment. Let's look briefly at the syllabus for this course. This is, as I said, Physics 222, Section W01. It has a prerequisite of Physics 221 and a co-requisite of Math 141. Those are the things you need for this course. As you may remember from Physics 221, we don't go too heavily into the calculus. We get to it on occasion, but it's really useful in explaining things in Physics 221, like a velocity is derivative of position. In here, we will do a little bit more because we need to with some things like Gauss's law for electric fields. This is a full summer course. It goes all the way until August, so it's summer 2021. The class is online. Therefore, the building is online, the lab is online. My office is in building 970. That's the Nursing and Sciences building. I am in room 302R. If you are going to come see me during office hours, it's probably a good idea to send me an email first because I've got some other things going on this semester and I might have to be running around a bit. But if you do come over there, I will tell you that door to the hallway where my office is located tends to be locked. And what you have to do is call my phone number, particularly the last four digits there, 6472. Call me from the phone that's outside of the office near the elevators and stairs. I can then let you into the office suite and then to my office too for office hours. I'm also very, very happy to help with anything online. My office hours are I'm available during office hour time online. If there's real issues, we can set up a web conference. We can make this work in many different ways. As I mentioned, my office phone is 843-574-6472. Although I do prefer email, it's just something that I'm just in the habit of checking, particularly in online classes. The WebEx link here, if we do have to set up a meeting, that would be the thing. I would send you a better link that would be specifically for you if we schedule a meeting for that. My office hours, Monday to Thursday, 9:30 to 10:30 a.m. Tuesday through Thursday, 11:15 to 2. Tuesday and Thursday, 11:15 to 2, and Friday, 9:30 to 12. Trident closes the campus at 12 noon on Friday, so everyone has to leave at that point. I will also say that I have reserved essentially 10:30 to 12:30 on Tuesday and Thursday to be specifically for this class. What I mean by that is I will be sitting in my office, I will be on the computer, I will have email open. If you send me an email then, I will be able to respond to it almost immediately. The same thing goes for office hours. However, I check email at other times. It's just not guaranteed when I'll get to it. I generally don't check it too much after 7:30 or 8 o'clock at night, and I don't really check it from Friday afternoon until Sunday night. So if you send something on Saturday, I probably will not be able to respond to you until at least Sunday night. The grading for this course. This is a weighted average. So it is a weighted average of tests. This says daily grade. That's an old version of the syllabus. We do not have the daily grade in this. Labs in the final exam. The grading is the standard Trident Technical College scale listed there. The test average is going to be 60% of your overall grade. There are 4 tests. I do not drop any tests. All tests count. The way the test will be administered for this class is I will give you an assignment, which will be the test itself. A day later, you will turn in that assignment. So you will complete the work on your own, scan it into the computer using a phone or actually a scanner if you happen to have one. I will give some apps and suggestions as we get closer to the first test on how to do that. And you submit it, and then I will grade things there and give you feedback on the grading that way. I generally try to post the test around noon on a given day and make it due at 2 p.m. the following day. All of our submissions in this class will be due at 2 p.m. So they are not due at midnight like some other classes. It's always going to be 2 p.m. That just lets me get through the grading a little bit more efficiently in that regard. If you want to work on it at 2 in the morning, you certainly can. You will have that opportunity, but it is due at 2 p.m. the day after the test is issued. Point out here that partial credit is available in all test questions. I do not give multiple choice questions because of that. If I were to give a multiple choice question, you get the wrong answer, you get no points. Here, I don't really concern myself too much with the answer. I'm much more concerned with you understanding the physics behind how it's solved. So partial credit is going to be a big deal with these things. More information about the test will be given on D2L as we get closer. The lab is 15% of the overall course. It is factored into the overall course grade, unlike some other places where the lab is a single credit hour course. The lowest lab grade will be dropped. I do not drop tests, but I will drop the lowest lab grade. Late labs and tests will incur a 5-point penalty for every 3 hours past the deadline. So if you're 5 minutes up to 2 hours and 59 minutes past the deadline, you get a 5-point penalty, and so on and so on. The final exam is 25% of the course. It is comprehensive. That's something we'll mention in just a moment when we look at the schedule. No tests are dropped. There is no extra credit work. If you miss a test for a valid reason, we can definitely find a way for you to take a makeup. It won't be a problem. If you're traveling, something like that, coming up for business, and you know in advance, let me know and we can make arrangements for that as well. If you require accommodation for testing, you should let the counseling office send me the information and let me know a week before. Although, like I said, you will have 26 hours to finish the test. You've got as much time as you think you might need for it. Required materials for the course. Text is Physics for Engineers and Scientists, Volume 1 and 2 by Ohanian, 3rd edition, Norton Publishing. We need Volume 1 for Test 1 material. It covers thermodynamics. In some schools, thermodynamics is included in the first semester. Other schools like Trident, it's included in the second semester of physics. And then other schools still, it's included in its own separate third semester with modern physics. So for us, it's in the first or second semester, but it's in Volume 1. The books are available in the bookstore, although I will tell you, you probably know they're available other places online. I've seen it for sale, for rental. It will work. You can find a 3rd edition pretty much anywhere that books are sold. Lab manual will be provided on D2L. More information will be given about the lab as we get closer. But the lab essentially will be a presentation of the lab as it would be in the lab manual. Then a slideshow where I go through the lab, take the data that would be in the lab, and take photographs as I do so. You will then go through and look at the slideshow, look at the photographs, and write down the data as you see on the photograph, going along with the experiment. Then you will write a report for that lab, or in some cases there will be a short quiz for that lab. If it's a report, you will submit it in the assignment section. If it's a quiz, it will be in the quizzes section. Speaking of quizzes, there is our first assignment, which is going to be our first lab, which is a very short introductory quiz. This quiz is mandatory. If you do not complete it by next Monday, I am forced to submit your name to the registrar's office to be dropped from the course roll. This is my way of taking attendance in an online class. So make sure you submit that quiz. It is a very, very easy quiz, as you will see when you take that one. That quiz will count as our first lab, as I just mentioned. The other needed supplies, you will need a scientific calculator. Smartphones are probably good enough. If you think your smartphone does not have a scientific calculator, turn it sideways. It does. And that will work pretty well for that. This is a rough schedule. A tentative schedule for the course. As I stated at the top, all dates are subject to change. Essentially, I've broken it down by week. The dates on the left-hand side are just the beginning of that week. In this case, we're starting on June the 1st. And you see the chapters listed on the right-hand side as we go along. Test 1 will become available on June the 16th. It will become available at 12 p.m. As I said, tests will usually be available at noon. And it will be due on the 17th at 2 p.m. Or it says 1 p.m. It will be due at 2 p.m. Oh, it's 2 p.m. I just read that wrong. So it's always going to be 12 and 2 for those. We're going down. Test 2 is just before the 4th of July break. Test 3 comes up later in July. And then Test 4 is the last few days of class. Unfortunately, that leads right into the final. The final has a little bit more time to do, but again, that's on into August, so we've got plenty of time to get to that point. As I just mentioned, the required materials. These are what the books actually look like. Volume 1, Volume 2 by Hans C. Ohanian and John T. Markert. And if you're wondering what I actually look like, that's me. Hello. Glad to have everyone in this class. Hopefully, we won't have any problems with weather or anything like that. Who knows how that's handled in an online class? We will actually see. But I'm looking forward to a good semester with everyone, and don't be afraid to send me an email with questions if you do have them. I will post video lectures coming up very shortly. It may take me a day or so to get the first one up. Generally, what I will do is post a blank page of notes, and then I will use those notes to essentially make a lecture as I would in a class. I'm not going to be using a whiteboard. I'll be using a tablet computer, writing the solutions as I go, as I would on the board, talking as I would in class. I will then post that video. So you'll have the blank one if you want to work along, and then you'll have the video if you want to watch along. And then at the end of the video, once everything is done, I will take the notes that I have just worked on and completed by doing the class and post those. I'm going to try to keep the videos short, under 20 minutes, which means there'll be quite a few of them because this is normally a class that would meet 3 hours a day for 2 days a week. So I'm just going to try to keep these fairly short as we go along, just in the interest of allowing you to focus on a single subject at a time as you go. The notes that I post at the beginning, the blank notes, will cover several different videos. So it may take me 3 videos to cover one set of notes. Each note that I post afterward will just be the collection of the parts that we covered in that video. So those should be coming up soon, and I will post on D2L when new presentations are available, let you know there in the content section. And once again, looking forward to the semester. Don't be afraid to email me. Let me know if you have questions at any time.